All right, guys, how you all doing? Happy Sunday night. It's about 9 o'clock in the evening here in Malta, hanging out, getting ready for the next trading week. Got a nice shave, a little bit of a haircut, trying to get civilized now that I'm here in Malta. Yeah, so one thing that was kind of coming to mind here as I'm getting ready for this upcoming trading week is how many people actually prepare for the upcoming week. Do you study charts? Do you look at the monthly, the weekly, the daily? Do you have a sense of what's going to happen, or what you think is going to happen? Obviously we all don't have a clue what is going to happen, but we have to have our prognosis, we have to have our idea based on our analysis what we think is going to happen. And then if you have confidence in your method, you've got to execute that plan and trade it, right? So what I think heading into this week is I'm looking at the weekly chart as a little bit of an exhaust. I don't think the buyers are going to be able to push it much higher next week. I also don't think that the sellers are going to be able to drive it down. So I'm looking for a pretty choppy week. I'm probably going to be looking to sell rallies from Tuesday forward, but certainly tomorrow I'm looking for a very choppy day after the big move up on Friday. Consolidation usually follows, especially if it's not exiting a previous congestion zone, which we're not really doing. We're trending. So when you get a big push up like you did on Friday, you're probably going to see a consolidation day tomorrow. So I say all this because, how will that impact your trading decisions? I'm heading into tomorrow looking for a very tight range, choppy day, and I'm going to set up my strategies to try to capitalize on that. Now, look, I might be wrong. It might not be a choppy day. We might get a big move to the upside or the downside. You never know till after the fact. But I'm going into the day with the idea, the analysis that we're going to chop around in a tight range. So I'm going to be using my Owings trading concepts with the volume profile, and I'm going to be looking to get long as we, sink down into the value area low, and I'm going to be looking to get short at the value area high. And I'm not going to hold trades very long tomorrow because I'm looking for, quick choppy moves up and down. I'm not looking to hold a runner. I'm not looking to add. So I'm going to, basically structure my trades around that analysis. Now, again, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be right. It just means that's my analysis. That's my idea of what's going to happen tomorrow. And that's the way that I'm going to play it. So that's kind of how I come into every week, every day. I have my ideas about what I think is going to happen, and then I try and trade accordingly. So if you're not planning and preparing for what you think is going to happen in the upcoming day or week, then you're kind of just, shooting blind. You're firing blind. You're guessing, and guessing is generally not going to work over the long term. So I think it's good to have a plan, trade your plan, and live and die with what you think is going to happen, because that's kind of the key to long-term successful trading. And that also ties into what the prop firms are doing now, tightening their rules. If you don't have a trading system, an analysis method that is somewhat reliable, that works, it's going to be harder and harder for you to make money, overall as a trader, but especially with the prop firms, because they're going to be tightening the noose now, because they've got to stop these big outflows and they've got to keep their business model alive. So, I think if you haven't really put a lot of time into, thinking about what is my trading strategy, what is my edge, how do I make money, how do I come into each day? Do I think it's going to be a chop day, range bound? Do I think it's going to be a trend day? Why do I think these things? You got to journal. You got to keep track of all these things that you're thinking about, and then you got to execute your plan. And then at the end of the day, you got to say, okay, I thought this was going to happen. This is the way I traded it. This is what ended up happening. And after a while, you'll end up having stats, that kind of reflect how accurate your analysis is. And, beyond that, it's not just the analysis that has to be consistent and decent. You've got to then be able to execute your trading plan based off your analysis. So I think that's super important. Anyways, there's a lot of bullshit out there on YouTube. I'm just watching now, going through the feeds, and you see so many channels, you know. I'm not going to name names, but it's pretty funny. These people are making a lot of money selling people shit on YouTube, getting views, all this kind of stuff. That's those of us who trade and make money from trading. It's not it's not like that. Like it's more like you really got to study your trading plan. You got to plan for the day. You got to execute your trades. You know, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I think for the few of you who are following this channel and you know, actually hopefully trying to learn something and progress, just know that, you know, trading is tough and it requires a lot of work, a lot of discipline, a lot of preparation, all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I think the rubber is going to be meeting the road here in the next, you know, 6 to 12 months, in terms of all the fraudsters on YouTube who have these channels and they make their money, you know, by looking pretty or, you know, God knows what else, but very few can trade. And I'm excited to, you know, weed all that shit out and actually just continue to put up numbers and, you know, do my thing. So tomorrow, I'm betting on a very choppy day, looking to sell the rallies at the value area high, looking to buy the dips into the value area low, and that's my plan. And we'll see. I might be totally wrong, but that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. And this is based off of a lot of analysis that I've done this weekend. This is based off of a lot of experience trading, and I'm going to live and die by my decisions, and that's the way it's got to be. So for tomorrow, choppy day, you know, look to play the range. Don't hold your trades too long. Just look to get in at the lower end of the range and get out quickly. Look to get in at the higher end of the range, get out quickly, and just be content with that type of day. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think there's a lot of merit in you know, talking about this and posting it before it actually happens, because you know, there's a lot of people that talk about stuff after it happens, but it's not much good to us, you know, when we forecast after the fact. All right, you guys. Good luck this week. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.